Well, hello there. You're watching Offbeat Business TV and listening to OBBM Radio Dallas. I'm your host, Susan Hamilton, where we're making digital media easy for local family businesses. Today, we're going to be talking with Ryan Vick of Vick Audio Video.
Hello.
You're listening to the Offbeat Business Show, rebuilding American business influence locally, nationally, and abroad, bringing you experienced insight for a strong, influential brand and successful life in business. Here's your host, Susan Hamilton.
How are you doing, Ryan? So good to see you today.
Good.
I was really impressed with your showroom the other day because there's a lot we can be doing with our audio video networking. Is that what that's called? Networking, the way you handle it, or what would you call that?
Networking or integration.
Integration, right.
Taking different audio video components and putting them together and making them work together.
It's a different time. We no longer have to have those great big bulky speakers all over the house or the stereo. And right now, you're doing things very differently. And it just was quite eye-opening how much we can actually do with our phone these days.
Right. Yeah. A lot of what we do is anything from mounting a TV to installing surround sound, audio video systems, patio, motorized shades, lighting control, thermostat control. It can all be controlled with your phone nowadays.
All of that can be controlled with your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Holy moly.
And you can even talk to it. So sometimes you can tell it to turn things on, turn things off, make things convenient, so you don't have to use your hands as much. But,
well, I thought that was going through your phone. Was that not?
A lot of it goes through
your phone. The speaking was going through the phone?
No, the speaking was going through like an Amazon Echo or a Google Home, something of that nature. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty interesting because within a very short period of time, the temperature in the room changed.
Right. Yep.
I mean, you controlled everything like that.
Yeah.
So today's consumer really needs things to be busy. We're living a busier lifestyle. We've got to, especially for the local family business, we're in a hurry to get things done. And one of the things that I noticed with your products and your services and the way you're putting this together is that you can walk in the door and actually have the house set at the temperature that you want, the programs that you want, and it's all just right there, super, super easy and fast.
That is correct. That is correct. That's a lot of people don't understand that it's not easy to install all of that. What we do is we try to make it look simple. When it's all said and done, hiding a wire for a TV or a concealing cable and custom integration on houses, every house is different. And so we learn something new every day. Different ways of running wire to make it look as sleek as possible so that it just looks like a picture frame hanging on the wall and just a couple speakers hidden in the ceiling. At the end of the day, we like to centralize most of our equipment so that we can hide it all in a cabinet. We have to use devices that talk over radio or Wi-Fi to be able to communicate with those devices that are in other rooms. And that's where we come in. We make it seamless and we integrate it for you so that at the end of the day, you just have a remote, you press a button, watch TV, watch a DVD, listen to radio, and it all comes on for you.
Very smooth. And now you're talking about some of the things you can even do with the outside component, with the patio. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we do, Q Motion is the brand that we carry. Okay. We do motorized shades. You could do screened in porches and things like that where the shades come down to keep the bugs out. We can also, just like using your phone, turn on the patio speakers, listen to some music, or you could have an outdoor TV and watch TV. A lot of people are doing that these days, as well as LED lighting. A lot of clients are going to LED, which saves a lot of electricity on the house as opposed to the traditional incandescent light bulb. LEDs use 90% less electricity, and so we like to put LED strips along the baseboards or in a kitchen cabinet under things just to give a little accent lighting so that you don't have to turn on the main lights to save a little electricity.
Oh, that sounds so pretty.
Yeah.
So when you, how is that for long life though? Don't they run out a little bit faster, or are you finding that they are lasting longer?
You know, I mean, it just kind of depends on the brand. Different things have different quality levels, and so when you're doing a budget, try to budget for something that will last a little longer than buying something that's just cheap. There's a difference between cheap and inexpensive.
Boy, that's true.
Cheap is something that can fall apart.
Yeah.
And expensive is something that's within your budget, but is still quality.
So you've got a small family business that's been around a while. You've been, did you tell me it was 14 years that you've been in business?
Well, I started this company back in 2006. We used to be called Everlucent Home Theater. We've gone through a couple name changes throughout, you know, how some businesses go out of business or change partnerships. I was at one point in 2009 partnered with my dad, Dale Vick, with Everlucent Media Solutions is what we decided to call it at that time. And at one point during that time, we've had a lot of employees come and go, and now we've decided to take a smaller niche of more quality clients than just being a fast food restaurant version of audio video. We like to take a more in-depth knowledge of what that customer is really asking for. Instead of just being the cookie cutter installer, we're a custom installer. So that way we can come in, say, hey, give them different options, say this looks better here or there, and we try to make it so that we can make that wiring concealed so that, again, all you see is a TV on the wall and maybe a couple flush mount speakers in the room. All the equipment hidden and concealed. It's all about the aesthetics.
Yes.
Also, with this new technology that's coming out called the Internet of Things, I'm sure you've heard of that, IoT, refrigerators that are going to be having smart sensors in them that know when it's time to order new milk. Sometimes you can put things in your trash can that lets you know when it's full and it's time to change the trash, cat litter, things like that. All those kind of little knick-knack things that you didn't think you could connect to the internet back in the day. Now today you can, and the whole goal is to get as many devices online as possible so that we have a lot less integration with all those devices and let them do their things automatically. So automation is what everything is going to, and that's what where we come in. We program the automation to do timed events so that you want your lights to come on at 8 a.m. every morning, they come on, we can do that. You want your lights to come on, your faucet to start warming up the shower, you name it, if you can think of it, we can do it.
Oh, wow. That is so in-depth, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to share you with our audience, because I think a lot of local business owners don't really realize what they can have out there when you're looking at what you said, the integration.
Right.
I mean, that's quite extensive. It never would have occurred to me.
Right. Well, with automation, automation is completely different from just a standard home theater. Home theater systems, you got a remote that you physically have to touch and press to turn things on, which is good to have. That's still a key necessity. But when it comes to your thermostat and your lighting and different kinds of things in the house that are using a lot of electricity, the best way to do it is to automate it. So that way, using geofencing, which is like on your phone.
Right, and we use it for other areas.
Exactly. Like with geofencing, we can set up things where when you are a mile away from home, we can get your thermostat to start warming up the house so that you weren't using all that electricity when you weren't home. Also, the lights are off, and we can have pathway lighting from the front door to the kitchen so that you can put all your groceries in. You don't even have to turn a light switch on when you come home anymore. So you have a pathway to your kitchen, pathway to your master bedroom to put your things away, and then you can just say, hey, turn off the lights, and everything goes off. It's a really cool added benefit. We do more than just that. We also take it to the next level of with self-monitoring cameras, where you can now take control and see your own cameras in your house without having to hire a monitoring agency to look at those kind of things.
Oh, so you're talking about security and surveillance.
Yeah, but what we do is self-monitoring, where you're the monitor. You are in control. You see what's going on. You can subcontract that to a alarm company if you wanted to for that purpose, but for the most part, clients are finding with like Ring.com doorbells, they're helping with theft as to packages getting stolen, you know, Amazon packages and things like that. With Ring.com, it connects you to your neighborhood. And so with your neighborhood, if there's a theft down the street, you get an alert and say, hey, keep an eye out for such and such. And that's a really cool added benefit of added layer of security, as well as being able to talk to the person at the front door when you're not home and be able to see them, and it records in the cloud. So cloud technology has blown up.
Right.
With cloud technology, with Ring.com, which is one of the brands that we carry, it is a monthly service or a yearly due per camera that stores the video for 6 months in the cloud. So in the event that somebody were to steal that device in itself is just a dummy device. The recordings are stored in the cloud, so those can't be stolen. So if somebody stole one of those things, Ring.com with a police report will give you a brand new one for life. So that's a really cool added feature.
Oh, it really is, because we can cut down on crime, we can protect our homes, and a lot of local family businesses have an office in their home.
Exactly.
If not a full operation out of their home.
Right.
And so it's a big deal, and we tend to be close to our schools because we want to have that support structure for family and kids.
Sure.
And so, yeah, you want that criminal element out of there, and what a quick way to, you'd never even think about that.
Right.
I never even think about, so I wonder if that same community thought happens maybe even in the local plazas. I mean, is that something where the business owners in a plaza can take advantage of that same?
The cloud technology and things like that have more implementation than just residential. We are authorized dealers for a service called Eagle Eye Networks.
Okay.
Eagle Eye Networks is a cloud-based camera surveillance system that it has government-level encryption security that records in the cloud, same technology as Ring.com, but with this, we can actually take over your existing camera systems that you already have, or new systems with IP cameras that don't have to be specifically a doorbell. This can be real cameras, and with that you can record in the cloud multiple cameras and be able to access multiple locations. We've done like a few clients that we've done have multiple locations, and so they can pull up instantly the video for multiple locations instead of just having the one house. They can go to store 1, 2, 3, and so forth, and monitor their employees and try to keep track on theft and things like that as well.
I think that's really important, especially what you're saying about employees too. You know, you hate to really look at the internals in a negative light like that.
Sure.
But today's workforce is quite transient, and really accommodating that can be twofold from what I see. On the one hand, we can protect ourselves from criminal activity that could be happening internally in our company, but the other aspect could be training.
Right.
Because when we're looking at your front end person, that how they communicate with the customer could have it could be successful or it could be unsuccessful. And if you've got a video that kind of backs that up, you can say, hey, this worked or this didn't work, or wow, that was a really excellent approach. I think I'm going to teach it to the whole team, and here's the documentation of that. That's just beautiful. Ryan, I'm really tuned in to what you're doing here, and I'm excited to share this. Friends, we're going to talk to hear from our sponsors, and when we get back, we're going to hear more from Ryan Vick of Vick Audio Video. You're watching Offbeat Business TV and listening to OBBM Radio Dallas.
Thanks.
The American business economy is positioned as it has never been before. Professional videography is a core element for attracting a higher level of engagement with the people group you need for significant impact. Now is your time to shine. My name is Bill Brock, owner of White Rock Films, and I invite you to a powerful opportunity in the marketplace. An opportunity to draw excited people to your events, an opportunity to showcase your ideas on infrastructure, an opportunity to become known as the industry authority and enjoy the associated benefits of a strong, influential brand. Video highlights, video teaches. Video puts a resistant market at ease, and video stirs the hearts and imaginations of your allies and strategic client base. White Rock Films offers full audio, video production for businesses ready to embrace the future, handling your project with professionalism, experience, and polish unheard of in the industry. My name is Bill Brock, and White Rock Films wants your business. See us online at whiterockfilms.com.
So, welcome back. You're watching Offbeat Business TV and listening to OBBM Radio Dallas. I'm your host, Susan Hamilton, and I'm talking with Ryan Vick of Vick Audio Video. And we're learning about some really interesting things, local business owners, that you can be doing to monitor and surveil and protect your property, as well as train your team with the surveillance that's now available. And all of this is voice activated?
No, not all necessarily voice activated,
Okay.
but a lot of the integration that you can do can be voice activated, like turning on the TV or changing the thermostat or turning on or off a light or an appliance. Those kind of things can be done, but as for on the security side, talking to it for that. That's
not going to work.
That's not going to work. That you need to have a phone or a tablet or a computer or something like that to access the data or the device physically.
Well, that's great though that you can access it from your tablet. That's I think pretty handy, and that's nice. And I don't much care for using the small phones, but the younger generation that doesn't seem to. Even my husband, they don't mind using the phones, but I kind of do. I like to use a tablet because it's larger, and that works better for me. But I was real impressed, Ryan, with the way that the simple things that we take for granted, like wiring, like the neatness of it. And you had said earlier how important it is for your company to show that seamlessness of it. You don't want us to see all this mess. And
anybody can connect all the equipment.
Yeah.
But making the wire look pretty, that's where the professionalism comes into play. And so we don't use zip ties anymore. Back when I first started, I used to use zip ties, and when I'm bundling up all those wires together, the problem is that 3 months from now, that customer is going to have a new Blu-ray player, and they want me to come out and install it.
You know that's the problem, right? You know that's the problem.
So when I come out and install it, now I have to cut all those zip ties and redo them. So we now only use Velcro. With Velcro, we can quickly attach and release, and it actually makes our wire management a lot quicker and a lot simpler. People that use zip ties eventually will learn that if you use Velcro, one, it doesn't damage the wire. There's nothing to cut. You just undo it and put in a new one, which we take to the next level of taking that extra step of figuring out, hey, if I go back out to the van to get something, I need to think about the things I need to bring in so I don't have to make multiple trips back and forth.
So I'm curious, what's crossing my mind right now is, okay, so we've got all this wonderful technology set up in the house. Now it quits working. So what ends up, are there any common reasons why all of a sudden the lights aren't listening to you anymore, or the technology isn't working, and what do we do about it in the event that's going on?
50% of the time it's user error.
Really?
The other 50% of the time is anybody's guess.
Okay.
So give us a call. Check us out at vicav.com. Every client, every place is different. Yeah. Something could have simply come unplugged, or a firmware update needed to be done, or the device. Sometimes devices do go bad. We know how manufacturers, they don't make things to last forever. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a market to buy more of them. So to make them last over time, we try to do the best we can with surge protectors, and we also have remote rebooting capability using Blue Bolt by Panamax, which allows us to connect your entire home system to one surge protector that's connected to the internet. And in the event that you need to reboot everything and you don't know how to do it, that's fine. For a monthly fee, you can give us a call and we'll reboot it for you remotely. That way, instead of rolling a truck out there, we can reboot your rack of equipment, your DirecTV, your Dish Network, or whoever service provider you might have, reboot all that equipment, and hopefully that actually fixes it. Because we come to find out that 90% of the time, simply unplugging it and plugging it back in actually fixes the problem. So by adding that extra level of a network power strip that can be rebooted remotely, has actually saved us on a lot of service calls of just going out there to hit the red reset button. I
love how you're thinking about this, Ryan. You know, you're bringing another level of business ownership to the table, because you're showing us how, by working more efficiently, it really improves your bottom line, because you're not wasting silly time doing things that can be done remotely.
Right.
Tell us a few other ways, if you don't mind, that maybe your business is being run differently so that you can manage the type of clientele you want to manage and still have a life.
Well, we are a small audio-video company. We have a total of 3 employees. Out of that, we have a team of probably about 6 or 7 people that are also, contractors. We have a master electrician that we work with that's fully licensed. And then our crew, we have 2 people. We've got Philip, Craig, and Ryan Vick, who's actually my brother, who are the technicians that go out, and I come in and I do the consultation, I do quality control, I do the programming, and I also help out as a technician when needed. But my goal is to grow the company and to do the sales and things that I used to be a technician,
Yeah.
and I still am a technician. I started the company, over 12 years ago, and I started out of a 1994 Honda Civic.
Oh, did you?
I had a ladder on the top, I had tools in the trunk and wire in the back seat, and a really, really old $500 car. I used to get to customers that way using, online services like Craigslist and things like that to get clients. And I've grown from that, and now we use other things like Home Advisor and Angie's List and things like that. Plus, most of our customers are repeat business. So I don't really advertise as much as I should, and we get enough business that way.
But that's kind of interesting that, for instance, there's many things that you can be doing remotely just for the customer and client. That saves you a lot of time.
Right, and where we've come, like I was saying, I lost track on that Honda Accord or that Honda Civic that I had. Now we have a van with a wrap, and we've actually had a few different trucks that have come and gone. But over the last 12 years, it's kind of cool to see how we've grown to where we are. And now my dad is actually our owner, so he had actually bought me out. And that was back when we were Everlucent. So now we are Vick Audio Video LLC. And I'm actually enjoying working for my dad. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, the whole concept of here's the home, and here's the way you can see it integrated. When you walk into this showroom, you're walking into a home. You're actually walking in to see how everything works.
And that's not the only showroom that we have, although the house is a demo, but we do bring our clients to actually demo speakers at different areas where our distributors have places you can come and take a look and hear, just like if you were at an optometrist and you have, is this better or is this better, we can actually still do that for you in a different setting.
Oh, that's wonderful. So when someone contracts, what does it look like to work with you? Say I'm wanting to have those things done, and I call you.
Sure.
You come. You do the shopping for me. You do the
Absolutely.
shopping
We are
with me?
we are a one-stop shop. We sell everything. The major brands that we carry are Sony and Samsung. We are Vantage Control dealers, which is a lighting control system, and we also do RTI, which stands for Remote Technologies Incorporated, which is an automation system that can do all the controls using your iPhone or an iPad. And then the other services that we offer are Q-Motion motorized shades. And so that's also part of Vantage, which is owned by a company called Legrand. And so we're really big into Legrand, and we love them. And with their Vantage system and all the integration that you can do to make different brands communicate is really cool. So you can have one brand that's a different brand and one brand that's another that do two different things, but with our control system, we can make both of them talk to each other in a seamless fashion.
And you've got an understanding of it, so you're
Absolutely.
not coming into it. I really love that I can hear the expertise come through as we're having this conversation, and as I saw the work. You're looking at this knowing full well the difference in the quality and the behavior and the reputation of the products that you're bringing to bear.
Absolutely.
So it's not just, and I'll kind of transition that to, that's not something that necessarily a handyman is going to be able to offer you.
Correct. This is what we do is beyond handyman. Though they might be able to do some of what we do when it gets to the larger scale of incorporating your entire home. And I'm talking about everything from every light switch in the house to all the 3 or 4 thermostats you might have in your house, 5 or 6 or more TVs. All of it can be controlled by a single app on your phone.
Yeah, that is quite amazing. You've got some associations that are pretty interesting.
I do. I was out of high school. I was a president of the tech club, and I was also in a theater class in high school. And out of high school, I joined the Army National Guard. I served 8 years in the Texas Army National Guard, and what we did was I was a line-of-sight radio operator and maintainer. National Guard is just 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks during the year, and so full-time I was going to UT Arlington studying aerospace engineering. So I love aerospace, I love engineering and electricity, and all those kind of things have always fascinated me, that I've always wanted to invent the flying car. When I was 8 years old, my mom always told me, reminds me that I had this box of wire, and in there I was going to build some sort of a flying car. And now, today, I use an electric bike to get to work every day that I plan on turning into a powered paraglider. Just for fun, for sport and things like that, but to prove that electric transportation is possible.
You know, I hope you're interested in this and looking into what Ryan Vick is doing, because it's obvious he's got a heart for this. It's obvious that one thing I've learned over the years is when someone's got a passion for what they're doing, they do an exemplary job, and that's pretty exciting. And he's bringing some new ideas to the marketplace that I hope you check out. You're going to find all that information alongside this audio and alongside this video, and as well as all the contact information. You had said your website is?
Our website is vicav.com, and then you can call us at 817-658-7598.
You'll find all of that information accompanying this audio and this video, and I hope you go check them out because they're doing some really great stuff here in the DFW area. Until next time, this is Susan Hamilton, and you've been watching Offbeat Business TV and listening to OBBM Radio Dallas.
Thanks for having me.
You've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show. Find our lineup, podcast, magazine, event calendar, and sponsor information, even our membership directory, all available on the Offbeat Business app or at offbeatbusiness.com. Download the Offbeat Business app today.
Take this for me, but I don't know how.